Okay, so welcome to this week's episode.
This one's a bit of a catch-up. So, as you heard from last week, we are actually now on the hard, as you know, but we're not ready to show you that because there was a couple of little clips and bits and pieces where we were preparing to get here and how we got here. So, this is more of a catch-up to get us back in line because, as you know, we took that little break, didn't we?
Yeah, so we're back on the move again and making our way up to Fort Pierce to get hauled out. Alright, so Greg was only gone for a couple days and now he's back. You can see his ass behind me, bent me over, all the stuff down there. But what he's doing now is he's trying to connect up the DC to DC chargers. Hi, Greg.
Good afternoon.
So we've managed to connect up one of the DC to DC chargers, and that is now charging from the lithium to the AGM because the start battery that we have needed a little bit more power, so we wanted to just boost it up a bit, and it looks like now it's full, so we're still playing around with that, but that'll be easy to switch that one over to eventually charge the lithiums from the AGM, so it's an easy flip over, right?
It should be.
So it's all, like I said before, there's little kinks and little bits and pieces that we need to do to try and work out the gremlins in the system. So it's still a work in progress, but it's definitely coming along well.
Boat work is fun.
Sometimes. So this morning, as Greg was working on the boat, he called me down for another set of eyes. So from this fancy crimp tool here, he's done it again. So he thought he lost this little piece behind the inverter, down behind the batteries. So I climbed in there, was basically doing a handstand on the battery box to try and look underneath. And where does Greg find this little piece? Just here on the shelf.
It snuck out of his tool. Shouldn't have. It was a bad tool.
Boat yoga at its finest. So before we left the dock, we have plugged the boat into shore power to charge through the inverter charger. And I think the settings were a bit high because we had it charging the batteries at 160 amps going into the batteries, which was charged them really fast and got him up to that 100%, but it did melt one of our cables. So we have since changed the setting to only put 80 amps in when we are plugged into shore power, so that should be a little bit better. And we are gonna move out to the mooring. Alright, so as you can see, guys, we are on a mooring again. Well, again, in a different place. But we have moved the boat off of the dock, and it feels really good to be out here floating around. It does make it a little bit more challenging to take Fox for strolls, but I think she did miss the dinghy rides. So it's super exciting. Another step in the right direction. There's dolphins! Fox. So Fox likes dolphins. Don't stop. So being in Stuart has been fantastic. We want to do a massive shout out to United Yacht Sales for letting us use their dock for our lithium battery install. That made a huge difference. We've been super happy with Sunset Bay Marina as well. Have to do a shout out for them. They've been absolutely fantastic. We've enjoyed our time here, a bit of time relaxing, a bit of time just getting our heads around the next chapter of our adventures.
Adios, Stuart. It's been fun, that's for sure. Anyway, time to, what we're going to do, babe?
We're going to haul out the boat.
It's going to be a fun 2 weeks. We're taking this thing up to Fort Pierce. Gonna get a lot of jobs done, and the rest is a secret. All right, let's get this thing under a couple of bridges and let's go find an anchor spot for the night.
So to leave Stuart, we have to go under a series of 3 bridges. The first one is Old Roosevelt Bridge, and we do have to wait for that one to open because it would be a bit of a tight fit squeezing underneath it. The second one is a railroad bridge, which is normally open unless there's a train going past, which typically is at nighttime. And the third one we don't have to worry about too much because it's 65 feet high, the new Roosevelt Bridge. We have chosen to leave it this time because the old Roosevelt Bridge will actually be closed for maintenance for about 3 weeks to 1 month. So it's good to get out now before we'd be stuck in Stuart even longer. We have truly enjoyed Stuart as a place to kind of chill out for a little bit of time. It's very dog friendly. There's a beautiful boardwalk that we've been going for walks on, and we've just thoroughly enjoyed our time here. It feels so good to be moving again after so long.
It does. We're only doing a short run. We're only doing about, what, 5 miles today?
If that.
If that, 4 or 5 miles. A little bit of a shakedown. We haven't used a lot of the systems since doing the big electrical install. Found out the autopilot's not functioning correctly. It thinks it is, but it's not turning the boat, so it might be a loose bolt or something. I'll have to go check that out. But anyway, short hop, and then we'll do a bigger one tomorrow if everything's okay, which it should be. Anyway, I'm going to try and find an anchorage, guys. Should be just up ahead here.
It's nice for a change in scenery. A different bridge to look at.
That looks more like boats anchored, or at least one anyway, down there, just on this side of that bridge.
So we woke up this morning, our first night on anchor for a while, and yesterday when we were doing our little test sail to get here, the autopilot wasn't functioning properly. So this morning Davy's gone down into the engine room, and it turns out when we were changing out the AGM batteries, when we were pulling those out, one of the cables got a bit loose for the autopilot control unit. So we've connected that cable back up, and it looks like the autopilot is back functioning. So we're going to be able to make our way up the river all the way up to Fort Pierce today. So another step in the right direction.
Come on, little guys. Tik Tok.
So we're gonna crack on. Seriously, Davy has not been a morning person lately at all, so this is gonna be fun. Hey Fox, can you tell everyone we're back? So we have some really exciting stuff coming up, guys. We are here in Fort Pierce. Today is haul out day. So we've managed to scrape together some of our pennies to get this hardtop finally finished. So we're getting the boat hauled out. Hopefully all goes well this morning and we get hauled out at 9:30. Otherwise, we'll just have to hurry up and wait again. Friends of ours are on the hard, so maybe we'll be beside them. They're in a boat identical to ours, and they're actually doing an install of electric engines at the moment. So that's gonna be kind of cool. So we're gonna show you a little bit of that as well. I know it's been a while since we've posted a video. We needed a little bit of time just for ourselves, just to have a bit of a break, mental health break. But we're back and we're looking forward to this next chapter. All right, so I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous.
She's always anxious.
But we're gonna be going in. It's quite a narrow marina to get into this slip, as you'll see.
It is pretty damn tight.
So we're gonna have our friends who are on the docks. Apparently there's one tricky spot, so I'm gonna have a floating fender around as well. But it's exciting.
We're all prepped and ready to go.
We're gonna get hauled out.
Yeah. So let's do this.
So that was a bit of fun. We just pulled up the anchor, and for the first time our anchor had another person's chain wrapped around it. It wasn't any boats that were near us, so it was just a random piece of chain on the bottom. But it was fun, right?
Yeah, it's all good fun. Luckily we had the boat hook ready and we just literally, it came off nice and easy. Super clean chain though, it looked brand new.
Maybe we'll have to go for a snorkel later. We have decided to use Heritage Boatyard here in Fort Pierce. One of the main reasons we chose this boatyard is because our friends in an identical boat are on the hard there already, and they've had a great experience so far. Finding a yard to haul us out has been a bit of a challenge. It took a bit of time. This yard is super busy, lots of boats coming in and out, so we are lucky that they had a spot for us. It was a little bit narrow coming in, but not too bad. As you can see, this slip here, it is just wide enough for us. I believe they only allow catamarans about 20 feet wide. We're 19.5 feet, so we just made the cut. It was super narrow coming in.
It wasn't that bad. Look how much room there is here.
Alright, so this time hauling out Barefoot, I wasn't nearly as nervous. I think I was most nervous about coming into the slip because it was narrow. But the fact that they have a proper travel lift kind of put my anxieties at ease. Last time we hauled out, as you know, when we were in Loop Run, they used a tractor trailer lift with telegraph poles across it to lift Barefoot up. When they did that, they cracked both of our hulls and they made more damages to the boat than what we already had. So basically, it can't go any worse than it did last time. And the fact that they have professionals who do this every day really put that anxiety at ease.